What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mo Buckets podcast. My name is Hoodie Ben. To my left, we got Jimmy Buckets. What's good?
What's going on?
And then to his left, we got Frankie Vision, the Vision.
What's up, everybody?
And rounding it off for this week, we got Mr. No Look Pass, Magic Mitch.
What up, what up?
Yo, guys, man, fellas, first week into ball. How you guys feeling?
Yo, it's been an exciting week, man. I'll say this. A lot of surprises, a lot of upsets, but nothing short of excitement.
Can I just say that NBA basketball is back?
Yo, you gotta do it.
And it just feels so good. It's like now it's like complete.
Yeah.
Yo, favorite time of the year, man. Opening season. I was so excited. Favorite time of the year as always.
All right, man. Yo, so let's jump into it. I think, this whole first week, man, we got a kind of a first take as to how teams are coming out. You know what I mean? Like, things are starting to settle a little bit. But we got to bring back our staple Mo Buckets versus No Buckets segment, man. All right, so let's start things off, man. Mitch, who we got for Mo Buckets this week?
I think we got to give it to Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors.
And now they always say congratulations.
4-0 right now. Undefeated. But I don't know if people really knew they'd be this good this quickly.
It's true. It's true.
Right? Like, you have Kawhi Leonard coming back. Hasn't played since, I think, January last year. Looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Probably took a little bit of time to get there, but he looks good. What do you guys think?
Well, I think like 4-0 says a lot in itself, right? And they had some tough they had the key matchup facing the Boston Celtics. I thought that was, as we all knew, that was going to be the matchup to feature on the Eastern Conference, and it was nothing short of exciting. You know what I mean? Like
that was a statement game.
It was a statement game. You know, it was like a lot of swings and a lot of flows. Boston came back too. It was just back and forth through the whole game.
From the previous episode, I did say the Raps would have a slow start, and they come out maybe slow. I want to apologize and say I was wrong, and it's early, but I'm jumping on. Let me back on board.
Jump on the Raps wagon.
In on the wagon, Jimmy.
Let me come back.
Yo, okay, one thing to say though, like out of the 4 games that we've seen so far, one thing I was really surprised to see and like happy to see was the emergence of Danny Green.
Yeah,
like I think we've really seen him like just step back into form and show like. Man, this guy was a champion. He was like a key player in that championship run, and he's showing the experience, and he's showing how he delivers in those key moments. Like, he anchors a team on defense, man. Like, that block he had was just...
Chase downs, man. He's had a couple of those.
Double block?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like, it was crazy, right? What do you think about it, man?
But I think, like Danny Green past few seasons, he's been banged up.
He has.
He hasn't been the same as, like, in championship Danny Green. But he definitely, like, you can see he has, like, a pop. Like he's definitely has more spring.
For sure.
Like he's looking really, really good.
Yeah. He's looking good, right? I think he gels with the team. Like I thought there'd be some chemistry issues. Like obviously we see CJ Miles getting a dip in minutes. We see even Norm Powell like less minutes to go around on the guards. But Danny Green, man, he's earning those minutes. Like he's not putting any he's not wasting those minutes at all. He's really delivering each possession he's got.
Yo, but can we just stop being around the bush, yo? We know why the Raptors are winning. All right, there's one reason why the Raps are winning. Yo, Jimmy, you mentioned NBA basketball's back. Kawhi Leonard is back. Can we just say this guy? 4 games in? Yo, it took him 2 games to hit 30 points. What did he put up? 30 points.
Okay, 12 boards.
12 boards. This guy was MVP form.
He was. But that being said, they rested him on the back-to-back,
That's
which
fine.
I thought it's a good precautionary thing to do. But you're right, breaking down into that game specifically, like against Boston, he scored 31 points, 10 boards, 3 assists. He shot 10 of 25, and he also shot 9 of 9 from the line, right? He's focused, man. Like I didn't think his shooting efficiency would be there that quickly, but
You know who's been really, really good? I would say even better than Kawhi right now, Kyle Lowry.
Ooh. Yeah, he's balling. He's balling.
He's averaging right now career high in assists. He's shooting 57% from 3 right now, taking 4 a game, or making 4 a game, taking 6. Like he's been amazing. I thought that without DeMar, there'd be a little bit of a dip. Maybe he's upset. Maybe he's he doesn't know exactly where he fits with the offense. But you can tell he's taking his shots that he's taking and making are from so far
confident
away.
Shots,
Super confident
shots, right? And I think to your point, like on that against that Boston game, which I thought was going to be like a critical game. He had 6 assists with 0 turnovers. And I think that's an important stat to say too, right? Like 0 turnovers at this at a time when you would think they'd be struggling to kind of find the gel within each other. Dude, they played well. Didn't turn the ball over much, shot at a high rate. Like what more can you ask for, man?
I just wanted to give the Raps some more props on that game against Washington, where they rested Kawhi Leonard. They still managed to pull out a win, even though it was ups and downs, but they still managed to do that with not only a clutch offense, but also defense too.
Yeah.
Right?
Show the depth of the team, man. Show the depth. Yeah, and like to your point about Kyle Lowry, I think shots he'll go in shooting slumps like here and there, and like shots will fall, shots will miss for him, but more than that, it's just his attitude, man. He's coming in and he's ready to play. To see him like take these charges again, this is the Kyle Lowry of old, man. We haven't seen this Kyle Lowry like with this determination in a couple of years, and it's just nice to see, man. Like, and to your point, like I think there were a lot of questions with him coming in. It's like, is this guy gonna be fully checked in? Like, there's even like trade speculations, like, is this guy like mentally there for us? And he shut it all down. Like, this guy's coming out.
So he's 32 right now. Do you think, like, look at the way he plays, right? He runs into people, he takes those charges.
Takes charges.
Do you think he keeps this up the whole season? Like, because if he does, like, this will be his best season ever at 32 years old.
That's a tough thing to predict. I think the way he plays, though, it's not
Sustainable.
It's not sustainable. Like Kobe said it best. I never take charges, man. I let other players do that. My job is to score buckets and get paid and have a long career. That's like, I thought that was actually a very powerful statement because you're right. Charges are great. It's great for the team, but it's terrible for your body, man.
He played 78 games last year.
But if to
Playing
your
the same
point,
way, right?
If he's not the one taking charges, who is on the Raptors?
True, and that's why I think it's so great to root for like Kyle Lowry because he puts his body on the line, right? And you can see how it's contagious for the rest of the team. Like even Serge Ibaka was stepping up the other day, right? Like you see the defensive energy of everyone on the team. I'm not sure if it's. I'd like to say it's because of Kawhi Leonard and the fact of how how good he is. Yeah, exactly. Those two. But you can see how even people like Kyle Lowry have bought in. JV is like JV was playing good defense too. I was like so shocked to see all that, right? Yeah, but honestly, to bring it all back though, what did you guys think of that lineup to start and to close? Kyle Lowry at the 1, Danny Green at the 2. I think Leonard was the 3, Siakam at the 4, and Ibaka at the 5. What did you guys think of that lineup?
I think you're going to see a lot of it. I think, especially, I think OG got injured a bit, right? Once OG also starts to get back into place, maybe you take Ibaka out, move Siakam to the 5, put OG at the 4. Like that's a lineup that can switch on anything.
Small ball.
It's small ball, right? But like that's what you look at where the league is going.
I was surprised they opened with that as the starting lineup, though. To be honest, like Ibaka at the 5 against Horford, like I felt like Leonard, Siakam, and Ibaka. They're all about the same size, and I think that's good size at the 3 and the 4. But at the 5 spot, I don't know how. Like I don't see them being able to use Ibaka at the 5 against like bigger teams like Philly, as an example, right? And
then that's where Jonas comes in.
Yeah,
I mean, Jonas is a big guy, right?
But how do you feel about him coming off the bench now? Now that he's never come off the bench for his whole career, now he's coming off the bench because no other secondary big man can handle Jonas.
No.
When he goes in there, he'll get his points, no problem.
That's true.
We'll see, man. It's got a lot of we've got a lot of question marks still. I just think so far it's great to see, man. Raptors 4-0, like, dude, who would have seen? Like, I think we all had high hopes, but it's really good to see them develop this quickly.
I also like if you look at the way they're playing too, they're moving the ball so freely, and I think props to Nick Nurse.
I was going to say credit to Nick Nurse for that one.
I think you have to. I think you have to, right? The way that they're playing, I think that he gives them that that way of playing. Maybe I don't know what if that was the same with Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey definitely changed, but I think when Dwayne Casey got fired, all the rumblings out of Toronto was, well, it was Nick Nurse that instituted that offense and got that change in place, right?
Yeah, and to that point too, like I think a lot of credit does go to Kawhi and Danny Green just because of the system they came from, right? Like Coach Pop, like that ball does not stick in Coach Pop's system, and you see it with Kawhi now. Like even though this guy's a superstar, like they ran in that game, they ran a couple of possessions in a row through him, and he made the right pass, dude. Like he took the right shots, and they just know how to move the ball, right? And like everybody, and it's rubbing off. Everybody else is joining in.
Like I totally agree. Like there were moments of the game where I thought they were even overpassing. But that's a good problem to see, right? Like they're so unselfish with the ball, and it's great seeing so much movement, man. Like I'm not used to seeing like so much flow on the Raptors, and we're legitimately a 3-point threat in so many ways now. Like that starting lineup is deadly. Even Ibaka's hitting threes, right? And it's just We're gonna be a problem, man. We're gonna be a problem in the East.
As much as I don't want to give props to Ibaka. He's playing all right. You know, he's playing like he's playing like the 29-year-old he should be, as opposed to maybe a 30-something-year-old.
Yo, but small sample size though.
Small
Sample size.
Small
Let's be
sample
honest.
size. So like everything in doses, you know. That's a good way to wrap it up. But yeah, how about that, man? Raptors with the Mo buckets of the week.
Yo, more buckets.
But let me just bring this back. You know, everyone looking at the Raps, you would assume they should be on top of the East. I want to turn it on to the West side and talk about the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets are undefeated right now.
They have been surprising, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Surprising, man. That team's been looking hot.
If you think about it, okay, granted, they only have wins against Clippers, the Suns, but also Golden State, right?
That was a big win against Golden State.
huge.
That was a big win.
That was a huge win,
Yeah.
man. Came down to the buzzer. Came down to the
They
buzzer.
did, right? But you can also know that they held all three of their teams under 100. They're the only team that has done that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's still a small sample size, but it's shown that maybe their defense is getting better.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it's all links back to
Yo,
Jokic.
hold on. I think we gotta direct that question to Frankie, yo. Is Jokic a franchise player yet, yo? With the hot takes from last year, is he a franchise player? After that perfect game, yo. This guy put up the perfect game. Perfect triple-double.
Okay, I'll give credit where credit is due. This man is balling out. Like, first 3 games to open the season, he's put up 21, 35, and 23. Shooting, shooting 46, 100%, and 50%. How crazy is that? All while almost, he only turned, very minimal turnovers, too. I think his assists, he's gotten, 22 assists to only 4 turnovers in his first 3 games. Right, so I think this guy is really putting it together on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and he's protecting the ball. There's not much you can ask for.
To me, that's the most surprising thing is, as Jimmy said, their defenses looked amazing. They're number 1 defense right now. But when you think of defensive teams, you always look at, okay, who's anchoring the middle?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have said, oh, Jokic is in the middle. Okay, you're going to have the number 1 defense. Right? I think it just shows also their team, they're playing like a team already so early in the season. And I think you also got to look at the coaching. Mike Malone has been really good for that team.
I think they've got they've got a chip on their shoulder, man. Getting snuffed in the playoffs last year, they want to show.
Right?
Yeah, last game
last
too,
game.
right? It was like a tight Western playoff seeding, and I think for them, they've got a chip on their shoulder. They want to come out strong. They want to prove to everybody that this is not a team to be slept on.
Yo, so here's the big question. They're 3-0. We still haven't seen Isaiah Thomas. Because let's be honest.
Honestly,
this guy's,
I think this shows that they don't need him.
don't
Right?
need him.
He doesn't have to rush back.
Yeah.
I don't know how big a role he's going to have when he does come back.
how far back is he still, though? I thought
He
he's
has no
pretty close
timetable
to-
right now.
Yeah.
He has
Really?
no
No
timetable to come back, which is odd.
It's a hip, right?
It's a hip injury. But the thing is, I think to Mitchell's point, Denver right now is great at the guard spot, man. Jamal Murray is also balling out. This guy
Gary
is
Harris?
nice.
Jamal Murray right now?
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray right now is averaging 12 points per game.
No, but the way he's regardless of the scoring though, the way he plays in the game, he
But
makes the
that's,
right pass.
that's what I'm saying. If once he gets his shot going, same with Paul Millsap is averaging 10 points per game.
You're right.
Like they shouldn't be averaging 10 points a game, 12 points a game. But once they do, they're instant offense.
You're right.
That's what they're known for, right? Denver's known for their
Gary
offense.
Harris, though.
Gary Harris
Gary's
is
been
awesome.
awesome.
Solid.
Gary
But you know,
awesome.
you're right. There's some streakiness that's going on with Jamal Murray right now. If you look at his last game, he was 0 of 9. The game before, he scored 26 points on 9 of 18. So you're right. Is he a consistent threat on a nightly basis? No. But he's still so young.
He's young.
The kid's born in what?
He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
It's
He's
huge upside.
21 years old, right?
Yeah.
So he's still got a lot of
But they're doing
upside.
this well, and he's not playing that well.
Exactly.
So that's what's scary as well. If you look at Denver in the West, they're going to be
So
good.
nothing. It's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got
It's
some
all up.
upside, man.
Hopefully they stay healthy, though. Because
Yeah.
you look at Will Barton, now he's out 5 to 6
Yeah.
weeks, right? Hopefully they stay healthy. That's the
We'll see
thing.
what happens. Maybe that opened, again, if Isaiah Thomas comes back within 5 to 6 weeks, maybe you see him play. Who knows,
I might have to
right?
jump back on that wagon, yo.
Yo, who knows? And
IT?
honestly, he might be the instant offense off the bench that they need. We'll see, man. But hey, that's a good contender for Mo Buckets of the week, man.
That's fair. That's fair, man. I would say you'd have to toss it up to both of them, man, to share that belt this week. What about no buckets of the week, man? Who else is 0-3 right now, man? We looking at all these other teams, man. You know what? It don't even matter who else is 0-3. Okay, there was one team that's supposed to make the most noise this year. and it was the Lakers. And they're coming out to, I guess, to no one's surprise, really. There's still a lot of question marks about them. Like, we knew they were going to be, like, up and down, but they're starting out the season pretty shaky, to say the least. They're 0-3. Mind you, all three losses were against contenders, right? So, there's that silver lining, but they're giving up 132 points a game. They're getting into fights. They're just, man, it's not looking pretty right now. What do you guys think, man?
LeBron looks fine. I think LeBron looks fine. Like he looks like, okay, I'm just gonna go out there, get my 25, 8 and 8, and I'm good. You look at the rest of the team though. I don't know. I don't know about the rest of that team.
They just don't seem to fit well. Like Lonzo Ball, I guess he's a good point guard in terms of passing and facilitating the offense. But in terms of a catch and shoot player, in terms of the system that LeBron needs, he's not great at that. Like LeBron will kick the ball out. He'll swing at the KCP. He'll swing at the Lonzo Ball. None of them are great shooters. Kyle Kuzma, I think, is the only one that's kind of stepped up to embrace that role. But even players like Brandon Ingram, they don't seem like great catch and shoot players. They seem like ISO type of players that need the ball and to create for themselves.
Lonzo Ball though, shooting 42%.
Shooting well. Okay, listen, no disagreement
Making
there.
almost three threes a game.
But you see the shots he missed? Have you seen the shots he missed? Like those are some of the dirtiest air balls I've seen in some time, man.
But
like,
but you rather he takes those and tries to hit them. I mean, he's hitting 42% of them. That's pretty good.
But Mitchell, if half of them are like the ugliest three, like they're not. I've never seen so many air balls by a player shooting with that type of confidence. Like it's so impressive. He takes it with confidence, and it's like a brick. It is like the ugliest brick, but he takes it with confidence.
But that's fine though. You'd rather to Mitchell's point, man. I'd rather him have be overconfident and shoot that than be underconfident.
He's also coming back from injury too, right?
Yeah, and if he's not the one that's shooting it, like who else are you gonna have shooting those threes? Lance? Beasley?
I would have Lance Stevenson.
Lance
Can make him dance, yo. Like I really think.
Yo, he hasn't been doing much dancing, man. That's all
KCP
I gotta say.
has been terrible.
He's
been terrible.
Yo, can we say who has been balling out though? Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Josh Hart.
I like his game.
He's nice.
I like his game.
He's
good. He's proving his minutes, man. But yo, dude, while we're talking about the Lakers, man, we can't not talk about that fight. Like, how about it? It's been a long time in the NBA since we've seen a fight that's escalated as much as it has.
Like actual punches.
With actual punches landed. With like, dude, they were actually swinging. I've never seen that with actual punches connected.
Yeah.
And it seemed to come out of nowhere, right? Because first of all, you see Brandon Ingram. He's all salty. He pushes the ref. What shocked me was he actually talked. He actually walked towards the ref and stared him down. I thought for a second, wow, this guy is really stepping up to the ref right now. I thought it would have been an instant ejection. It would have ended it. But the ref was actually so calm and composed. But yeah, that started the situation. And all of a sudden, we've got the scuttle with the two point guards on the side.
If you step back, though, when James Harden just runs into Ingram, right? And that's how James Harden plays.
Mm-hmm.
Not the prettiest thing. He's looking for that contact.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Brandon Ingram probably got really
Super
upset
frustrated.
about it.
Super frustrated.
I hate watching Harden just do that though. Also,
And he gets away with it.
and he gets
every
away with
single
it,
time.
and he gets the
I
call.
agree.
And
I
I
agree.
get it. He's gonna if he can get the call, you're gonna do it.
He's always like either like hooking your arm
Yeah.
or like creating that contact first. Like, it's
Like I'm not
ridiculous.
surprised that someone actually got upset and pushed him.
Oh,
about it.
100%.
I am surprised with Brandon Ingram because I didn't think he had that.
He was fierce, man. I was like, yo, this guy's a savage. But like to your point, Mitchell, I agree. Like James Harden, his style, everyone knows his style now. And it's still shocking that even though players know he's going for that, he still gets the
He
call.
can't do anything.
Right? And I think there was literally three 3-point attempts that he took where he got fouled. Like he got he got fouled at the 3-point line 3 different times when the players, whereas defenders were trying to get their hands away.
But you can't do anything. Like to
Can't.
Mitchell's point, you really can't. Because like if you play too close, he's gonna draw the contact. But like, yo, let's bring it back to this fight, man. Honestly, like I was surprised just as much as you that it escalated that quickly. But if you look at the 2 point guards involved, I'm not surprised, man. You got Rondo, who's arguably one of the dirtiest players in the league. CP3 is
I don't
one of
wanna
the.
say he's
yo,
dirty.
He's dirty, bro. He's dirty.
I don't want to say he's just competitive.
He's
he is competitive, and so is
that's fair.
CP3, right?
And so is CP3, right? And like all it took was a little spit, just a little spit to get the
Yo,
fire
he
going.
kind of denies it though, man. Rajon Rondo was kind of denying
You
it.
see the tape?
there was
Yo, real
video.
spit or not?
It
Real
was,
spit
it
or
was
not?
very subtle, but you see it. You
See him
it.
wipe the spit off.
Yeah.
Like he can. Chris Paul's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what hit my face?
Like at
I'm gonna
first,
go after
yeah,
this
like
guy.
when I saw the highlight, at first I saw what is CP3 doing poking at this man's face? I was like, you don't do that, man. I was like, that's a fighting word. Those are fighting actions, right? I couldn't blame Rondo. But then when you bring it all the way back, you're like, okay, fine. Yo, Rondo maybe spit on CP3's face. That's pretty messed up too, right? So it's just, I think, to be fair, it looks bad on everybody.
Yeah.
It looks bad on CP3 because he's player union president, right? You know what I mean? Like, he's supposed to be representing the players.
But what's he gonna do though if you get spit on the face?
I think he.
Yo, that's some disrespect, though.
That's the
Bring-
ultimate.
you-
Yeah,
you're not-
those are fighting moves, yo.
you're not
Those are
gonna
fighting
do anything
words.
if someone spits in
Yeah,
your face?
That's pretty. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You don't- it's like, yo, you want some smoke, man?
Yo, the thing is, like, for Rondo to deny that, like, I think he's one of the smartest players in the game. Like, we all know he had every intention to do that. Like, it's just like a subtle
You know what's funny too?
little
'Cause
saliva.
at first we didn't have the tape, so for a while I was like, "What? Rondo wouldn't do that. Who would spit in someone's face?" And then the tape comes out, and you're like, "Whoa, okay, he did."
Yeah,
He
I'm not
did it.
surprised. This guy took a basketball when a guy shooting his free throw, wipes his sweat all over this basketball, and drops it back to the guy. I'm like, yo, man. I get it's competitive. He wants some kind of edge, but I'm not surprised. But what I am surprised, though, are the suspensions. Because,
Who are
like,
you surprised?
2 games, 3 games, 4 games, like, that's pretty weak.
I was not
for-
surprised. I thought it'd be 3 games across the board with Ingram possibly at 5. Because I thought
Because he
Ingram
escalated?
Because he was just unnecessary. First of all, you don't talk to the ref like that. Like I thought he looked like he was gonna fight the ref. The way he was coming down on him, I thought that was one. And like again, I think the rules are you can't touch the ref.
Yeah.
You can't taunt the ref in any way, right? If the ref feels a little bit uncomfortable, I'm just like I got to give that ref credit because he didn't blow the whistle at that. Like I think most refs would have instantly like ran back, called it ejection. But like I'm not surprised at the suspensions, man. I think 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, 2 and 3 for Rondo and Chris Paul is kind of fair. 4 for Brandon Ingram is not too bad.
I feel it was a little lenient compared to previous.
Agreed.
In the Adam Silver era, it's lenient. But if you think back to when it's David Stern, the last fight, I would say like maybe back in Madison Square Garden. No, not after that.
Oh, the Knicks?
Madison, the
Melo?
Knicks.
With
Knicks,
Melo?
yeah,
Melo.
Knicks, yeah.
Melo, ooh, that's
Melo
Melo
punched
and
ran
punch-
off.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got like
punch
10
ran.
games.
Melo
minimum.
got 15 games for
Exactly.
one punch.
Yo, but that was
Exactly.
different. That was much. It was a much bigger commotion. It was
You think
much
so?
less
This was
contained.
pretty bad.
100%.
This
He
was
ran
pretty
and he
bad.
punched them, man. And like, yeah, I
You-
don't know.
I feel like it was because it was still somewhat fresh of Malice at the Palace. So then
Yeah.
David Stern had to like
Yeah.
lay down the law and like throw down the ban hammer.
If it's not the Lakers, do you think that suspensions are higher than what they were?
No, okay. I think the
Like-
suspensions are fair because it de-escalated quickly too. Like if you look at those 2 examples, right, with Melo, they literally had to almost stop the game. Like teams had to drag players away.
Yeah.
Whereas in this
LeBron,
situation,
LeBron pulled people. The people
no,
were
but
pulling
that's
each
fine.
other
But
away.
as soon as that happened, Rondo himself walked out. Brandon Ingram was just chilling, waiting for the thing, and so was Chris Paul. Like, it de-escalated relatively quickly.
That's
to be
fair.
absolutely fair.
That's fair.
Whereas I think in the Carmelo situation with the Knicks back in the day, it was like a brawl. It was a legitimate bench clearing brawl.
Yo, to be
Right?
fair though, Melo dipped out of there
He
quick.
ran. Yo,
he
he
landed
dipped and
that
ran.
one boom.
He
and
backpedaled. He
backed
backpedaled,
up,
man.
backed up.
Backpedaled, man.
This guy's
I
back
was
at half
shocked.
court, yo. He's like,
I was shocked at that, but I was like, yo, that's Melo for you, man. That's Melo for you. On that, man, how is Melo fitting up on the Rockets, yo? What do y'all think of that one?
Melo. I don't know. You have him on fantasy, yo. How's he
Dude,
doing?
he's straight trash, yo. Straight trash. Like, I'm surprised he's fitting as well as he is playing off the bench. Like, he doesn't seem to be too ball heavy. He's not, like, demanding the ball too much. It's just he doesn't fit in this system of catch and shoot. He's never been a catch and shoot type of player. He's the type of guy who needs the ball, faces up, dribbles a bit, plays with the defender, and then creates a shot. So I think him being forced to adjust to become a catch and shoot player, not so effective.
But I think he has to. This is his if he wants to stay in the league, this is his next evolution. He has to be able to
Agreed.
shoot, and he can shoot, right?
Shoot.
He probably has one of the nicest looking jumpers in the game, but I think it just give it time. I think he needs some more time, constantly playing with these guys and in this system, and he'll start to look better. I mean, he looks pretty bad though right now.
Yeah. To that point, he's shooting 1 for 5 from 3, 1 for 7, 1 for 3. Like he can't find the bottom of the net. But I agree in that it's only gonna take time, right? Because Houston, they're implementing another ball heavy player in Melo. He's got to adjust. The team's got to adjust. And he should be better. Theoretically, he should be better. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Do you think he has the chance to play into the starting spot, though, for the Rockets?
Who would he replace?
Because right now, who's starting?
It's Tucker.
Right now? It's Tucker.
PJ
like-
Tucker.
No, I don't.
But they
even
need
think
that.
he's-
They need his defense.
PJ's good.
PG might not get the offense, but they
Yeah.
need that defense.
He's like the glue guy for that lineup. When you look at Melo, like I can't see where like the Rockets don't necessarily need more scoring when you have James Harden on the court and CP3. So I don't know if you slot him in, but
So do you think Carmelo can replace James Ennis? Like, to be fair, James Ennis is still young. Carmelo is still a legitimate vet
You're talking
Right.
about in the starting lineup.
in the starting lineup.
I like Melo off the bench. I think Melo could be 6 man if you really, really wanted to.
There's no way Melo's going to be 6 man. There
He
is
could, though.
no
He could.
way.
With his jump shot and his scoring, he definitely could. Like, if you look at all the people who won 6 man, it's just scoring.
Have you heard of Melo mentality before, man? 6 man and Melo mentality.
He is coming at the bench now, right?
I just think his intentions are to play to become the starter of the team, and I think he can. Like, I think to his point, if he can show that he can actually play in the catch and shoot type of system, if you can keep playing defense, there's no reason why the way the Houston Rockets are constructed right now that he's not a starter.
But I don't think that really matters, though. Like, I think for him to be willing to come off the bench now, the first couple games, this is the biggest hurdle for him, right? Like, now it's more so, is he going to finish the game, right? That I think that matters more in itself, and that's just going to be dependent on how he performs, right? Like you said, there's other players that are in there. Eric Gordon's still going to be there. Like, Gerald Green could be another gunner for them. So, like, they got options, and it's just a matter of, I guess, with D'Antoni, like, and it sounded like him and D'Antoni had a good conversation in the offseason, right? Like, they're on the same page now. It's just you got to trust that system, right?
If I was Melo and I wanted to show that I want to feel good about myself and I could just dominate still, I would want to dominate second units. Because,
True.
again, like, if he's facing bench players, Melo can score on all of them. He can score on starters if he wanted to, but he'll look that much better playing against, the scrubs of the other teams, right?
That's fair. That's fair. Well, in any case, man, like, he's been struggling to fit in so far, only 3 games in. I think he's got a lot of upside, though, and I think his goal is to break into the starting lineup. So we'll see. We'll stay posted on that one.
I mean, yeah, let's look at another player that just made their debut on the Spurs. We're talking about DeMar DeRozan.
Woo!
He's been... How would you guys assess his performance so far, man?
I miss him.
Yeah.
I miss him in Toronto. But he looks good. He looks good. I'm happy for DeMar. I'm happy that the trade worked out for both teams. But DeMar looks really good.
You're right, man. I think DeMar on the Spurs, it's sad to see him gone, but like you said, he's really stepping up on the Spurs system, man. Like, Coach Pops, I think, is really bringing the best out of him. He's playing good defense. He's swinging the ball well. He's still taking some deep contested twos at times, but you can tell for the most part, he swings the ball very well in the new team. Dude, he got a career-high 14 assists against the Lakers. I think we're seeing a lot of improvement on this team and just in DeMar himself, and I think he's really filling into his new role.
I think with the Raptors last year, you could see that he was, his assists were up and he can make plays for other teammates. And then with DeJounte Murray out for the season, and then they lost their backup point guard Derek White, I think this has given him the opportunity to actually run the offense as well. Like, maybe you don't even need to have an actual point guard with his lineup.
And the other thing with DeMar, too, on the Spurs, I think, like, for him, one of the benefits of playing on the Spurs now is that he gets to play with a top caliber power forward in Aldridge, and that's something that he never really got a chance to experience, right? Like, he got the tail end of like Chris Bosh, but for him to play with a big now that can pick and pop, I think he'll really appreciate that. Like, it's gonna ease the offense for him, and he can really like bounce off of that, right? But the other thing I wanted to say, just like looking at how DeMar's playing now, like I love him as a Raptor, but man, like, is it night and day compared to like what we've seen from Kawhi? It's like I hate to be the one that says it because this guy's done
I'll
so
say
much
it.
in Toronto. But,
DeMar who?
yeah, oh,
DeMar who?
yo, getting
Bro,
those shots
Yeah,
fired.
just wait till he comes back to not the ACC anymore, to the Scotiabank Arena and see what he
Yeah.
puts up against the Raps. Like you guys said, man, it's sad to see him go, but he's thriving in this new system. I really hope he sees that too, and if he really gets a chance to really step up to that title.
Like, that trade worked out, honestly.
the trade worked out for everybody.
Best possible outcome, I think, given like what we heard about what the other offers were. This is probably the best possible outcome for both players.
Right, yeah.
Now it's all about
The
whether or not
Raps still
Kawhi stays.
came up on top.
Yeah.
Though. The
Well,
Raps
I mean,
did.
you got the best player.
We
It's
got
like-
the best player in the
You got the
trade.
best
and Danny Green.
And Danny Green, you're right. Danny Green was he's sweetening the deal even more, right? He's living up to the 3-and-D name. But on that again on DeMar, do you think with the Spurs team now, with them losing Dejounte Murray, is this going to put more pressure on DeMar to be a facilitator?
Oh, 100%.
But look, he did well yesterday, right?
He did well against the Lakers.
He did.
But do you think he
well.
can consistently step up to that position? Because, hey, as we all know, as Raptors fans, he's never been the greatest passer per se. Like, I'm surprised to see the improvement he's made in 3 games with the Spurs. But can he continue to do that?
But does he really need to, though? Like,
I think
I see what you're saying, but remember, you still got Patty Mills on the back. He's still another guy that knows the offense. He can run it for them. But to your point, though, I do see them leveraging DeMar more as like a point forward, like maybe similar to like a LeBron role to a certain extent going forward.
Well, LeBron rule. Whoa.
But
He's a
just in terms
shooting
of that
guard.
point forward. No, I know, but like in terms of like a big, like your main
facilitator,
scoring weapon,
yeah.
being the facilitator.
He averaged career high in assists last season, so he showed that he can pass. Like he averaged 5.2 assists last season. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not like he's not going to be Steve Nash out there, but he doesn't need to be, right? With the way that the Spurs move the ball, he doesn't need to be the guy who's constantly dominating the ball and handling it all the time and passing it. He doesn't need to set it up all the time.
Yeah, agreed. DeMar, keep doing your thing, man. And I think at the end of this, Spurs will still be there in the thick of things. Speaking of another team being in the thick of things, man, we look at the Brawl and his squad, Pelicans, they're doing damage this year, man. They've been, AD's looking like MVP form, prime MVP form.
Yeah.
And the whole team as a unit, man, they're scoring 140 points per game.
That's crazy.
ridiculous.
It's only been 2 games, though.
2 games.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 games.
Still though.
But still, 149 they put up the other day. That's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy.
Again, small sample size. And one thing for our listeners to kind of keep in mind, one of the new rules that were instituted this year was 14 second shot clock off an offensive rebound. I think it's kind of caught a few players off guard. You can see how certain players, right, when they get the ball in an offensive rebound, they're slow to get into their set. But I like it, though. This rule change has kind of sped up the game a little bit. You see less of the hold the ball, draw the clock down. There's more up-tempo plays, and it's just more exciting basketball. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I think if you look at the Pelicans, their front court they're so big. They're going against what the NBA, everyone in the NBA is going small ball. They're starting 3 6'10", 6'11" guys.
Big dudes.
It's crazy how big they are. And then if they're getting all those boards too, and they're going right back up with an offensive board, it's not a surprise necessarily that they're averaging 140 points, but they're averaging 140 points. That's a lot.
Only 2 games, though.
2 games, but still, they look really good.
I'm honestly surprised that lineup's working. That big 3. Anthony Davis, Mirotic, and Julius Randle. But let's talk about Mirotic, though. He's playing out of his mind
Jimmy's
right now.
boy.
My boy. He's second in the league right now in points per game at 33. 33.
Jimmy's going to score 30 points in his next game. You tell me he's going to keep that average?
You want to bet?
You want to bet? You think who does he play next? Who does he play next?
It don't matter.
You think
It don't
All right,
matter.
Jimmy.
It don't matter.
Jimmy, you think he puts up another 30 points in his next game? I'll put money on that.
Oh, okay.
I'll put money on that.
Let me get the team they're playing against. They're playing tonight.
He's playing. No, okay.
playing
In our marquee matchup, we said he's got Utah at the Pelicans on Saturday. You think he'll put 30 points that game, Jimmy?
What? Against that
Utah
Utah
Jazz?
defense?
Utah defense? What are you thinking, man? What do you think, man? You think he's going to average? Jimmy, man, let's be real now. There's no way this man's going to average 30 points.
Give me 2-1.
2-1? Nah,
2-1.
Jimmy, take it like a man, yo. If he's going to get 30 or not.
Bet.
$10, man, Jimmy.
Bet.
$10.
I believe in you.
But no, I
Easy
think
money,
if you
yeah.
look at Mirotic, I think people, he was in Chicago last season. He got punched in the people. I think most people remember getting punched in the face, right?
Bobby Portis.
But if you look at Mirotic before he came into the league, this guy is one of the most accomplished players in Europe ever.
Dude, he's got a great build. Like you said, he's a big guy. He can stretch the floor. Solid defense, to be honest. And again, he can really hit from the 3-point line. I think his last 2 games, he shot very effectively from outside.
He's smart too. He's a very smart player. He makes the right plays, makes the right passes too. He doesn't try too much. He kind of plays within himself, which is, I think, you need to have that type of player in your team.
And he's one of those players, to your point, he always has the utmost confidence in his shots, right? he'll be 0 for 10, but he's gonna keep jacking those things out, and you need a player like that, especially on that squad.
I just feel like he's just synergizes so well with Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
The way Anthony Davis plays and the way Mirotic plays, it's just so seamless. Now, I had really had my doubts with adding Julius Randle to this, but
He's good.
Julius Randle, like he's not a shooter, but he's in that paint area. So kind of like they have like attack points from anywhere they
He's
want.
like the perfect guy to play with Anthony Davis too, because he can handle the ball as well. And he can make the pass. Like, he knows. He
Effective
makes the
passing.
right play, right?
Effective passing, doesn't turn the ball over. You're right. It's kind
Like
of
all of them can, right? I think that's probably why they're so successful. Is that all of them can handle the ball.
But we're talking about the big three, but we still haven't talked about the guards too, right?
Let's not forget Drew Holiday, man. This guy's defense is so underrated, man. To see him put the clamps on people, dude. And he can hold his own.
Yeah, no, he was good.
Yeah. He's a playmaker. He's a great player, man.
It's kind of crazy. Eh? You're forgetting that DeMarcus Cousins was on this team last year, and like, are they better than they are now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that just if you watch the way they play and the way they move the ball, when DeMarcus Cousins was there, like the ball stops. And he, DeMarcus Cousins is a really good player, but I think is when you have AD as the unquestioned, he's the leader of the team. He's the guy who's gonna get the ball in go-to situations. I think that's kind of what was missing when you had Cousins on the team. And again, Cousins is great. I think it's just the fit on this team now with Mirotic and Randall. They look a lot better.
And so more so Randall too, like his style, right? He's another ball handler, he's another playmaker. Like he's an all around guy for them.
He's Kentucky too, right? Kentucky, same as AD.
So Pels, man, you think they keep it up? You think they're gonna be a top 4 squad in the West?
Not a top 4 squad in the West. Not even, man.
So who's your top four? Who's your top four then?
Top 4? Top 4. Okay, let's go top to bottom. Golden State, Houston. I would say the Spurs, to be honest. Like top 4. I think
I don't
Spurs
know.
will be top 4.
I wouldn't say Spurs.
And then maybe even Denver in the top 4. I don't
I'd
think.
say
And maybe even after that, Utah. I don't know if the Pelicans are better than Utah.
no. I would agree. I have Utah third. I would have Utah. Would you think that Pelicans can beat the Thunder in the playoffs?
Yes. Oh, in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
I don't think so, man. I think Russell Westbrook and Paul George, the fact that they're 2 legitimate superstars, without Melo this year, they can probably beat the Pelicans.
But if Anthony Davis plays like MVP, he would be the best player on the court, right?
I agree with Mitch, actually. I agree with Mitch. Like, based on how they shut down Portland guards last year, these guys are built to stop guards. So, and you look at Westbrook and PG, who are like 2 wing players.
That's fair. That's fair analysis. It's just I think what the playoffs last year showed, Anthony Davis is amazing, but he can't carry the team on his own, right? And I think like after beating the Pelicans last year, they just didn't have enough scoring options outside of AD. And he still put up 30 points, 10-10. Like you still had crazy stats,
10-10.
but like I think he had high assists, like almost like 5 steals, 5 blocks. But he still couldn't win because he needed his team. He needed another superstar in the team. And I don't know if Mirotic is that answer. Like, yes, he helps, but is that enough to really carry them like beyond the next round? I don't know. I don't know. Your boy Mirotic, Jimmy. We'll see. That's big question marks.
Exactly.
Where you got them finishing?
Who? Pelicans?
Yeah.
Pelicans, I'd say fifth. Yeah, just be more reasonable.
That's high
Fifth.
seeding, man. Fifth is still
Fifth,
pretty high,
fifth.
man. It's over Minnesota.
Minnesota's
Yeah.
pretty trash.
Do. All right, man. So that was a good discussion on some of the storylines we've got. One segment we wanted to run this year, especially highlighting the opening of the season, is a deep look at some of our upcoming rookies or some of our current rookies. Young Bloods. So I'm going to throw a name out there. I'm going to give you a brief highlight of some of his stats, and I'm going to get your thoughts. Rookie number 1, playing out of Dallas, Luka Doncic. Over 3 games, he averaged 18 points, 5.5 boards, 4.3 assists, hitting 2.3 threes a game. How has this kid shown you how he's done on the Dallas so far?
He looks good. I was like, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was worried. The only thing I was worried about was all the stories coming out before the season started where people were like, oh, he's out of shape. He could lose like 15 pounds. But he looks really, really fast. Like he's faster than I thought he would be, especially adapting to the NBA game. Like you're a different type of game. But he looks really, really good, and he's hitting all these like step back threes on these people. I didn't think that I didn't think he'd be this good this quickly, but he looks really, really good. And Dallas, I think Dallas fans have to be super happy that that trade happened.
Oh, for sure. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But to your point, Mitchell, like you're right. I think in the last few games, he shot 50% of the last 2 games. As a rookie, I think some of the things that are kind of glaring is what's not surprising is that he's struggling at the free throw line. He hasn't done well in that sense. I think if you look at how he's actually done, he's shooting about 61% right now over the first 3 games.
I think that'll improve though.
Exactly.
I
think that's a common rookie area of improvement. Another issue is the amount of turnovers. I think right now he's gotten a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Not the greatest either.
Yeah, that's fine though, man. Like he's a rookie. He's only a couple of games in, but like
you can teach that. You can teach him to take care of the ball better.
That's his time, right? That takes time.
What you can't really teach him is that basketball IQ that he has. Yeah. He has that court vision. He can see.
He does
when he's pushing the ball. Yeah. He's playing really, really well with DeAndre Jordan.
Dude, and he's fearless too. Yeah. He runs at defenders, man. Like I must admit, for this kid, first year in the NBA, and he's also getting above 34 minutes a game. I think that says a lot. The fact that the team is giving him that many minutes as a rookie, that's not very common at all. So
he's also, the other thing too, it's very noticeable when you see him play. He's big.
He's a big dude.
He can post up. He can post up guards. So again, if you put a guard on him or put someone on him trying to stop him, he's smart enough to know exactly what to do. If the guard's too small, he'll post him up.
And it's so crowded.
Yeah.
Too, right?
He is.
You see those dimes?
Dude,
drops dimes and behind the back passes. Ridiculous.
Yeah, but that being said, how do you think he fits on the Dallas roster, though? Right now with, they got Wesley Matthews coming off the bench, but with Dennis Smith Jr. as your starting shooting guard, it becomes a high volume type of shooting team, right? They don't necessarily have a true point guard. JJ Barea, I think right now is starting for some of their games.
But you have Doncic handles the ball. He sets up the play. I mean, and the other thing too is Dennis Smith Jr. can handle the ball too.
True.
So he doesn't have to be that guy all the time. But when he has it, you can tell the offense runs really smooth.
And when you look at this team, they're built to be on the fast break, right? These
two
guys,
True.
These 2 young gunners on the breakaway. You got Harrison Barnes is also there, and then you got shooters. You got shooters around, and you got DeAndre holding down the middle.
Yeah, and how about that new fit? How about that new fit with DeAndre? I was surprised. He anchors the defense really well. I think people were kind of worried about Luka Doncic's defense, but DeAndre Jordan is a great anchor that kind of brings the presence up. That trade is looking great. That signing is looking amazing, man. Tied with this new look Dallas team is looking great. And once Dirk comes back, I think it's just,
I don't know about
I don't know about dark, super dark horse, but I'm kind of surprised that Luka's getting that much of a long leash, because usually with Rick Carlisle, especially with the rookies, if you make a couple mistakes, he's pulling you. But he's getting this 30 minutes and so. It's showing you that Rick Carlisle has trust with this kid.
That's a huge thing too, right? The fact that he has trust in him in a rookie shows how good they must think Luka Doncic can be.
And let's not forget, you got the Dirk mentor right there. True European, one of the goats. You have one of the goats on the sideline mentoring you and getting you ready. So,
but still, man, he's looking good. I think he's still got a lot of areas of improvements, though. Again, 3 games, 13 turnovers. That's a lot, right? I think that's something he's got to get better on. But hey, that's rookie number 1. Looking into rookie number 2, we have DeAndre Ayton. Okay, playing out of the Phoenix Suns. This guy is a big dude. Watching him play live NBA basketball against grown men, I am shocked at how big he actually is. His size and his speed,
he runs really well.
He runs quick, man. He's a young Karl Anthony Towns in terms of the speed, in terms of the size, but effective shooter. And one thing that really stood out to me when I was watching this guy play, DeAndre Ayton, over the first 3 games, he shot 12 free throws. Do you know how many he missed out of 12 free throws?
He's perfect, right?
He only missed 1 free throw out of 12. Shooting very efficiently at 55% on the field goal. This is a big man that can pass, and he's light on his feet. I think he's really proving why he's the number 1 pick.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Embiid.
Yeah, good
because
point.
they're super big guys that can handle the ball all right. They make passes.
They have some footwork too.
They have footwork. and they can also step back and hit a jumper. Like they look very similar when they're playing.
Dude, for sure. And he's averaging 4 assists right now over the first 3 games, right? That's pretty impressive on only what he's gotten 12 assists on only 4 turnovers, right? And I think like for a rookie, this is like
I think his debut he had 6 assists.
Dude, yeah,
6 assists for a rookie big.
Yeah.
Like
On Phoenix too.
18 points, 10 boards, 6 assists in his opening game.
Because if you look past that second game that he had, because from what I've heard, he rolled his ankle during the practice. So
And Jokic is a bad
And
matchup,
Jokic
too.
destroyed him.
yeah,
too.
exactly.
Jokic destroyed
He,
him.
That was
got
Jokic's
killed.
perfect
He got welcomed to the NBA.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I feel like the player who's gonna benefit the most from Aiden is Devin Booker.
Oh, for
Devin Booker's assist is just gonna get like so much higher just because I've seen like multiple plays. He just lobs it up to Aiden. He just finishes it.
No, but you're right. That pairing's great, man. Like Devin Booker is like he's shooting more efficiently because of DeAndre Ayton. Like he's so patient as a passer, as a big man. Like it's rare to see someone that's that composed, doesn't turn the ball over, and makes the right pass in the pocket. Because usually people get like razzled, like when they're within the free throw line or free throw line area, they get rattled with the ball. They either pass too early or pass too late. But this guy is so patient, protects the basket, makes the right shot, makes the right pass, man. Like this guy truly is the #1 pick.
Where do you think that duo of Booker and Ayton? Where do you think that they rank in terms of like if you're looking to build a team around like a guard and a big? Where do you think that they would rank?
That's a great shooting guard center combination. That's a good question, man. Like
It has high upside.
Yeah.
Huge potential. Like I wouldn't be mad if I was Phoenix as a fan. I wouldn't be mad if that's my future.
True. Yeah, people were throwing early comparisons to the Shaq and Kobe era. You know, young shooting guard center combination. I think it's a new type of modern look because no one's gonna be like Shaq. Let's be real. No one come close to Shaq. But that being said, I don't think Shaq passed this.
Yo,
passed the same
when
way.
Frankie said that, Ben rolled his eyes so hard.
Sure, okay,
He
I
rolled
caveated,
he
okay.
rolled his eyes so hard.
I just gotta say one thing, yo, Frankie. Yo, you gotta Google him, dude.
Yo,
Google him, Frankie.
listen,
Google
I know what
him.
Shaq did. Listen, I know what Shaq did,
Come
but
on, man.
but tell me
How
this.
you gonna compare this dude?
Yo, did
to one
Shaq
of the
ever
greatest one of the greatest centers to ever play the game?
Dude, I'm not saying he's at Shaq's level, but I'll also say this: Shaq never shot 8 of 8 from the line, man. I don't think Shaq ever did that.
You need to shoot 8 or 8 from the line. He shot 8 for 8. When it's dunking in your face, man, that's it. That's a difference.
Well, see, it's a new NBA, man. You can't do like
It's different.
It's different.
it's the game has changed, but this is the new prototypical center, I think, in the league.
Yeah.
And he's capable of shooting the 3, even though he hasn't taken any outside shots yet. We've seen in the preseason he's able to shoot from the outside.
My one criticism I want to talk about Aiden is his blocks. Out of 3 games, he's only had 1 block. Yo, he's
really, man.
yo
That
big
was one
man.
of his questions at the draft was his defense and his
Exactly.
commitment to defense. So I think you kind of
yo,
seeing
you-
it.
Tyson Chandler, though, I think maybe that's why they're relying on.
Yeah.
No, but Tyson Chandler
No,
comes
but
off the
he
bench,
got to the
right?
bench with
Yeah, like you're right. I think if anything, that's where he needs to improve on. But on the offensive floor, man, this kid is killing it, man. Shooting so effectively from the free throw line, shooting effectively from the field, and he makes the right passing. Like it's rare to see a big man that young do so well on the offensive floor the way he does.
Who would you rather have, Wiggins and Cat, or Booker and Aiden?
Wiggins. No.
Booker, I'm gonna say Booker and Aiden.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
That's quick. It's only
I'm
3
a-
games.
I'm
No,
a-
I'm
Only
gonna
3
say
games.
I'm gonna say Booker, and this is why, man. Like Wiggins,
I just have a huge dislike for Wiggins.
I don't dislike Wiggins. He's so empty on the stats, man. Like what he scores, he gets like 3 rebounds, maybe an assist, and that's it. Like it's goose eggs everywhere else. Like I don't understand it. And he's got such a great body. Like he's an athlete.
I feel we've already seen the peak of Wiggins.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, Jimmy.
It's been how many years, and you haven't seen a gradual increase in production. If anything, it went down.
But that's kind of like the DeMar DeRozan progression, man.
What
For
do
the
you mean,
first
DeMar-
2 years, he was really slow. It took him a few years before he started to see some significant improvement. It was like not until he signed with Handle Life. I think that's when he really started to No, for real though. Ever since he signed with shout out to our boy Handle Life. You know, we see you on our gram, but for real, like it wasn't until like he hit a point in his development in which he was able to see some increases. I think Wiggins is still kind of floating. He's waiting to get to the next level,
Yo,
but
I'm more insulted that you're comparing DeAndre Ayton to Cat. One of
Really?
the best power forwards in the game right now, yo. I wouldn't even put that as a comparison.
really?
So then Wiggins is that bad
Yeah.
that he outweighs like his
good of-
his
yeah.
bad outweighs how good Cat is
It
in that
is.
duo.
Yeah. And I think the recent drama, man, is just kind of, put a damper on Cat a little bit. He's been kind of soft, He's been kind of soft.
He has been. I'm just saying the potential is, to me, is a night and day. But I mean, we got to keep it moving.
We'll keep it moving. On to our last rookie, none other than Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. Over 3 games, he's averaged 23 points, 8.3 assists, and 3.5 boards. Dude, this guy put on a show the other day, scoring 35 points with 11 assists. What do you guys think of this rookie, man? We talked about the Luka Doncic trade. Who really won out of that deal?
It's too early. Only 3 games played. But I will say, he looks good. Like, I was worried about how big, like his size, especially playing in the NBA. But he's like fast. He's smart. Like, he knows, the right plays to make. And he knows, like, kind of, okay, I'm not going to try and drive it in all the time and maybe get blocked. He knows when to dish it, and his passes have looked really, really good.
Agreed.
I think the biggest question mark for me about him going into it was just, like, is he going to get roughed up? Because, like, for him, like, he's even smaller than Steph Curry, right? Like,
yeah, he
is.
is.
6'2", 180. He's actually been really smart in terms of when he slashes. Like, he doesn't, like, he knows when to slash.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
He knows when to slash, when to pull out. His range is limitless. And
dude, that range though, like
his
every
shot
three,
he's so comfortable.
He's so comfortable. And every 3 he took was literally like 4 steps away from the line.
Yeah.
It was because he can't. Like, I think for his size, like you said, he can't just be shooting on the line because defenders are so much lankier and they can like cut into that distance quick. They can cover it quick. He's forced to take like 3-4 steps away from the 3-point line, but he's still able to hit him. And he's so smooth, like you said. He's like very efficient release.
You guys have seen that the Atlanta Hawks court, right, where they have the 4-point line. They actually set up a 4-point line in the practice court. So I think maybe, to be honest, maybe that's where he's just been shooting, like even when they're playing the scrimmages.
Yo, but I don't know if that's sustainable, man. Like, that being said, it's great that he's been able to demonstrate that range. I'm just like, leading into the season, I did not have high hopes for Trae Young. I honestly thought he'd struggle against the NBA's defense. I thought the Luka Doncic trade was terrible for Atlanta Hawks. But hey, he's proving that Atlanta might be doing something right. Who knows?
But look at the teams they played, right? They played New York Knicks, Memphis Grizzlies, Cleveland Cavs. What kind of competition is he up against, right? Nobody's.
That's true.
Who's he up against? Another rookie, Colin Sexton?
Yeah, but listen,
Right?
a 3 is a 3, man. A 3-pointer
I mean,
is a 3-pointer.
If the shot's falling, congratulations, right?
True.
I you know what? His last game was actually pretty impressive. 35 points, 11 assists, 1 turnover. Congrats. But you gotta lead these to wins. So, and right now they're just playing not that good of competition. So, just time will tell.
Well, they're facing Dallas tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah?
So we'll see
Key
how
matchup.
the trade we'll see how the trade shakes out with him facing Doncic, but
hey, I'll just say that, man. For these 3 notable rookies to start the season, I think they've all had great starts. I think we're really starting to see, man. The last few years, the rookie talents have been like consistently good, to be honest. Like, this draft class looking pretty solid so far.
I think you also got to give honorable mention Jaren Jackson Jr. in Memphis.
Okay.
He looks good.
Filling up the stat sheet, man.
Yeah.
Filling up the stat sheet.
I think he's another one of those guys where you look at him and you're like, okay, this is probably the future of the NBA. These super, super long guys who can shoot the 3 but also super athletic and handle the ball. And he's super young too. I think he's only like 19 years old right now. I think he's going to be really, really good. And you have Gasol mentoring him in Memphis. Like, he's going to be good.
It's fair. That being said, though, man, what's up with Memphis, yo? What's up with Memphis? Where do you think they're going this year?
Vegas had them like the worst team in the league. I don't see that at all.
Really?
I think they're sliding Mike Conley that much.
Like, Conley barely played last season. Gasol barely played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expected that they would have been that bad. They're both, by all accounts, they're both healthy. I can't. If they can stay healthy, they're definitely not the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, man. But hey, that's a good shout. Okay, shout out to all the rookies that are stepping up this year. It's been fun to watch so far, man. Let's see how they continue playing through the rest of the season.
Agreed, man. All right, cool. So let's transition now to the Wall of L's, man. We got to look at some key upcoming games, yo. We do know Jimmy's leading the pack with 2 L's, though. That's just
Only 2?
Only 2.
Oh, okay. I'm good. I thought I had 3.
3 for 3. All right, so let's look at a couple ones. So starting Saturday, we got Utah at New Orleans.
Well, we already had a bet on this one saying Mirotic is not going to score 30.
Yo,
Okay.
you're
Let's
letting
just be
down.
real, man. Utah.
Pelicans. Easy.
Yo, I got Utah easy, man. Donovan Mitch, yo, easy monies, yo.
Easy money, Mitch.
I'm going Utah. They played so good against. They played so well against Golden State.
Dude, that's
But then they
game was
choked at the
amazing.
end.
They choked it.
They
They
did
put up
choke.
81 points on the best team in the NBA in the first half.
Yeah, and then they reverted back to just ISO ball at the end. They got
They
scared.
kept playing though.
Yo, Mitch, a win's a win. It don't matter. It don't matter how it happens. A win's a win. I'm going Pels.
Ooh, split
You know
2 for
it?
2.
I'm going Pels. And then we got Lakers have a chance of redemption against San Antonio on Saturday. This one should be a good one.
This will be a good one, man.
I'm going LeBron, yo. I don't think LeBron's losing to San Antonio twice.
Ooh. Who's away and who's home?
They're playing at the Spurs.
At the Spurs?
Ooh.
No Ingram.
No Ingram.
No Rondo.
Wait, oh yeah, you're right.
That's tough.
I still think LeBron James takes this one. It's the king. I agree. He's not going to lose 2 games to the Spurs. He ain't about that life.
I'm going with the Spurs. They're at home. There no suspensions. I'm going with the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Mitch. I'm gonna go with Spurs until proven otherwise. Right now, the Lakers are not looking good.
All right, and then last one we got Portland at Indiana on Monday.
This will be a good
another
one.
another great game, man.
This is a tight mid-tier matchup. I think the way things are shaping out right now, though, got to give it to Indiana. Like Victor Oladipo, he's proven it, man. He's showing why he broke out last year. He's maintaining his performance. Portland's still trying to figure it out. I feel like CJ McCollum's been struggling the last few games. I think Indiana takes this one, man.
I'm gonna go with Dame, Portland.
I'm going Pacers.
Yeah, I agree. I do like where the Pacers are coming from. I think they're really starting to gel, man. That chemistry that they have from last year, being able to carry that forward. I think they're going to be another team that's going to be slept on in the East. I'm going Indiana. All right, so we got those locked in. We're also going to put those polls up too, man, on our social channels. So, give us your thoughts. Let us know if you guys think we're tripping or you agree with our picks. In other news, we wanted to, we gotta bring on the horn, the rap horn. Hey. We got the official launch of our Mo Buckets website, man.
Big ups.
Yeah, so this is something that, we mentioned in our previous episode, but, we've been working hard behind the scenes, man, and we want to pretty much create kind of a info hub where you can, see all the articles, analysis, the opinion pieces that we have, and most notably, we wanted a place where our podcast can live. So check us out, mobucketspodcast.com. You'll find all our content there. We're constantly posting behind the scenes, and wherever you guys are listening to this podcast, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, TuneIn, all of the good stuff will be on there in one central location. And you guys already know where to find us on social media as well. On Instagram and Facebook at Mo Buckets Podcast, on Twitter at Mo Buckets Pod. We also have our YouTube channel popping now. We don't have our custom URL yet. We're still.
We'll get there,
man. So hit that, subscribe, follow us, man. Give us some comments. And, we're just going to keep trying to grow, man. We're doing this organically, but, we want to make sure that at the end of the day we got the content, we got the quality for you guys, because that's what it's about, man. If you guys have any questions or discussion topics, obviously you guys can hit us up with the either hashtag MoBucketsPodcast or email us at info@mobucketspodcast.com. So shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us for a minute, and to all our day ones. Our new fans, man, we call them fam, yo.
We call them fam.
Fam, yo, Mo Buckets fam. So that's what's up, man. Keep us locked. MoBucketspodcast.com. I'm happy with the website, man. What do you guys think?
It looks great.
It looks great, man. Can't wait to get more content up there. And like Ben said, jump on the train, guys. Jump on the train. The Mo Buckets train is taking off.
Yo, Mo Buckets or Aiden and Booker? Who you got?
Get out of here, man.
All day. All right, cool. On that note, man, we're excited. First week of basketball officially in the books. Tons more.
Tons more on the way, man.
If you guys got nothing else, we'll catch you guys next week. Until then, keep getting buckets.
Peace.